Hello guys, Tech Enthusiastic here. We are trying to solve another LeetCode problem, number 238, product of array except self. This problem has been asked by Facebook mostly in the last few months. So the problem definition is that given an array numbers of integers where n is greater than 1, return an array output such that output I is equal to the product of all the elements of numbers except numbers I. So that means actually if the array is 1, 2, 3, 4, we want to return an array where the first index of the output array will be the product of all the numbers except this number. So that means the first index, since the 1, 2, 3, 4 are the array elements and the first index contains 1, the output first index would be product of all the numbers, that means 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4, that is 24. For the second location, actually we want to multiply or find the product of all the numbers 1, 3 and 4 and so on. And so there is an easy way or brute force way to solve this problem, that actually just multiply all the numbers. But the note is that please solve it without division and also in order n time. So the brute force method will be actually order n square, because for each of the item we want to find out all the n numbers and multiply those numbers. So it will be for each element it will be a order n, so that will be order n square. So the order n square algorithm will be pretty easy. So how we can solve order n? So let's think about few of the S cases here. So our input is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the brute force method, how we can solve this problem. Find the product of all numbers except excluding self, which will be actually a order n square algorithm. Another way to solve the problem in less than order n square time, that is to multiply all the numbers. So what we can do actually, 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4, we can find the total multiplication is 24. So what we can do actually, for each of the element indices, we can divide this 24 by all the respective position number and get the multiplication. So result will be at first 24, and so we will get if we divide 24 by 1, that will be 24. Second one will be 12. Third one will be 8. If we divide by 3 and by 4, it will be 6. But the note says that please solve it without division. So if we want to solve it without division, then actually we cannot use this algorithm also. So let's think about how we can solve it without the division. The another way to find the answer, let's think about in a way that for first location, if we know all the multiplicative results, that means 2, 3 and 4 for first location, then that would be the answer, like 24. For second location, if we know the multiplication of the numbers which are left side of this number, so for example 1, and also the right side of this number, that is 3 and 12, then actually we can get the value. For third location, that would be 2 and 4. And fourth location, that would be 6, and right there is nothing in the right side, so we'll put it 1. So first location we can think about something like this way. First value is 1 and all the values 12. If that makes sense for us, then actually we can go ahead and implement this algorithm. The process looks like for each of the position we want to find out all multiplication of all the numbers which are left side of this number and also the right side of this number, and for each element. And finally what we can do, actually we can just multiply these values, then we will get the results. So the thing is that we need extra storage for storing those values, but we are doing only in order n time, linear time. We are accessing all the values only once, and we are not using any division. So let's go ahead and implement this way. So first case is if there's some error checking, nums equal to null, we want to return null. So our output will be results, which will be new int, and if there is only one number, numbers dot length, then we want to return an empty array. Otherwise what we want to do, the number of elements n, our result, we will initialize this result will contain n numbers. We need actually two array. One is left array, which will be also n. We need also right array, which will contain n elements. For each of the cases, we want to store the left product, which would be 1 at the beginning, and right product, which would be 1 at the beginning. So we want to initialize the left array with the left prod, and the last element on the right side, that would be n minus 1, which will be right prod. So now what we have to do, actually for each of the element, for int I equal to 1, I is less than n, I plus plus, each of the level we want to find out the left prod. So our left product will be the previous left product multiplied by I minus 1. So that means the second location I1 would be the left product multiplied by the first element. And we want to store this value in the left ith location. And for our right product, we want to multiply the number n minus I, and we want to update the n minus 1 minus I would be the right product. So that means at first our left product for this case, the left product first element will be 1, and the right side, the last element would be 1. Then we want to multiply the first element with this value, so it will be 1 multiplied by 1, and the last value would be 4. Then we want to multiply it by 2. These will be the last element, so these will be 4 multiplied by 3, that is 12. And the last value would be 3 multiplied by 2, that will be 6. And here these will be 24. So these are actually our left array and the right array. So how can we find the result from these one? So our result array now would be pretty easy to compute. For each of the location, we want to multiply the left ith location and the right ith location. So the result will be 1 multiplied by 24 is 24, 1 multiplied by 12 is 12, 2 multiplied by 4 is 8, and 6 multiplied by 1 is 6, which actually the result. So how can I do that? That's pretty easy. So for each of the location I is less than n, we want to update the results of these values as multiplication of left ith element multiplied by right ith element, and finally we'll return the result. So let's check, is there any compilation error? We have some. So these would be nums, and also these would be nums. Yeah, I think our test case passed. Let's submit the error answer. So it got accepted. So that's how we solve this problem. So if you have any questions, you can leave a comment below, or like and share the video, or subscribe to my channel to get any update about the next LeetCode problem. Thanks for watching.